Clay Travis joins us, fresh off the slopes in Colorado.
I didn't get on the slopes. I don't do. I hit a tree about a decade ago and decided that skiing and snowboarding was not for me. My wife is outstanding at it, and my kids are rapidly becoming snow geniuses, I guess, in some way. But yeah, we just got back from Utah last night.
You hang at the lodge?
What are you doing while they're doing
I pretty much work. That's what I do no matter where I am.
I heard you were told not to work.
To some extent, yeah. I mean, I put in too many hours. I don't think there's any doubt.
You were pulled by a dog sled at one point, and you claimed that the dogs loved it.
The dogs did love it. I mean, the dogs were really happy. I'd never been on a dog sled.
I thought that was
before.
a disclaimer for PETA.
Yeah,
I talked to the dogs beforehand, and they loved it. I promise that this is not
are bred
abuse.
for it. I will tell you that they were ecstatic.
They looked like they were having fun.
Underway.
They really did.
And it was a lot of fun. I'm watching this feed. This is a really good job that they've done setting you guys up and. Just reminding everybody that at 11, right, the doors officially open for everybody. At 10, the Outkick VIPs get in. We're going to do a meet and greet here in just a little bit, so I'm excited about that. Obviously excited about the NCAA tournament being back after 2 years of absence, and I can't wait to start to have a little bit of Las Vegas feel for the city of Nashville and state of Tennessee in terms of just being able to bet on any game at any point in time.
Who should people be betting the farm on?
I would take Oregon State. It's my favorite bet of the day, plus 8.5. I think it's up to FanDuel.com/Clay. Get $50 free bet if you're in the state of Tennessee right now.
Clay is a noted Rick Barnes hater.
I just don't have any faith in this Tennessee offense to consistently be able to score. And if you can't, if I feel like there's going to be a 5 or 6 minute drought, I don't know how you don't take Oregon State with an opportunity to cover that number. We'll actually be live doing Fox Bet Live during that game, which is just brutal if somebody really cares about. Obviously, I want Tennessee to win, but I love that play in terms of getting that bet in on Oregon State.
I look at that game. Oregon State preseason picked last in their conference. They heat up at the right time and they win.
Yeah.
Tennessee, I thought got going again though. Guard playing defense. That's what everyone preaches in the tournament. Tennessee can play that style.
I don't know if they have a point guard. And that's my biggest concern for Tennessee, because I think the reason why the offense disappears at times is they don't have somebody who can efficiently get them into the offense. Santiago Vescovi is a good, I think, kind of off-ball player at times. I don't think he's proven that he can be a high-caliber point guard.
VJ Bailey's not a point guard.
Yeah, at all.
Josiah Jordan-James is their best point guard in crunch time because he just gets the ball off the court.
They tried to give the ball to Keon Johnson and give him a chance to make plays, but he just turns the ball over too much. And so I think Springer and Johnson can get hot. I'm sure they will at some point, make some tough mid-range jumpers. They're not outside shooters, and ultimately I think that Oregon State will cover. I think Tennessee will find a way to win, and I'm curious to see what would happen potentially against Oklahoma State in the next round. But that's where I would go as my favorite pick.
How many 1 seeds do you have in your Final Four?
I brought my bracket in here because I got to get my picks in. I've got 3, which is pretty boring.
Same.
But,
Me too.
Me too.
But I think if you look, and I've got Florida State as kind of the outlier there.
Clay, you and I have the same Final Four.
Oh, that's
I have Florida State, and
Who's
that's
surprised
it.
who's surprised that Chad would copy?
Once again, though, just like
me.
we didn't check each other on the parlays today, I had no idea. Clay just now filled us out, but I have the same Final Four.
Yeah, you know, what I would say in general is we've seen so far in the world of sports, everybody thought maybe the COVID stuff was going to create chaos. Instead, the best teams have typically ended up being even more reliable bets than they would have been in past. I mean, you think about the Dodgers, best team in major leagues, they win the World Series. Whether you love or hate LeBron James.
The
Lakers are the best team and certainly the best leader. The Bucks have the best leader in the history of the NFL and the best quarterback in the history of the NFL going up against the best current team, the Chiefs, in the Super Bowl. Bucks found a way to win at home. You've got the Tampa Bay Lightning, who were the best team in the NHL, and clearly Alabama Crimson Tide, who were the best team in college football. And all of those teams, I feel like, found a way to win. And I think discipline has mattered more than it ordinarily would. We'll see whether that ends up being the case. But honestly, I think if the Zags go on and win, it's one of the great stories in the history of college basketball, and I feel like it's so underrated that they could finish 32-0, same record as 76 Indiana Hoosiers.
How uncommon is it that the number 1 overall seed in a tournament is the fan favorite? right? Everyone loves Mark Few.
Yeah.
It would be the first undefeated team since Indiana.
In 76.
And it's Gonzaga.
And it should be a monster story, and I feel like it's kind of slid under the radar a bit because the West Coast Conference doesn't have a lot of big games. BYU is the only other really ascendant team in that conference right now. And those games are played so late on the West Coast that a lot of times East Coast media or people waking up in the majority of the country, I think the stat is, it's kind of a crazy stat, 80% of people live in the Eastern time zone or in the Central time zone. And so it makes sense a lot of times when you see these West Coast teams argue, hey, we're being overlooked. Yeah, that's accurate. You are, because a lot of people go to bed. East Coast bias isn't hating the West Coast. It's just people go to bed.
Yeah, and unless you hate Jesuits for some reason, no one hates Gonzaga.
That's right.
So everyone's all in on Gonzaga for that
That's right.
reason. It's not like a Duke or Kentucky where you hate them. So I'm all in on the Zags this year also.